I have started reading Ace of Spades by Faridah Abike Iyimide, and I am so glad to finally be reading this. I am 48, 49 pages in. I'm so glad that is not letting me down, and it's going so good for me. I love the writing. It's beautiful, but it's also very clear. Like, you can get the voice of the characters. I love Chiamaka, a driven queen. She's just like ambitious. She's like, I'm about to get what I need to get, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to get what I need to get. I love you, girl. I stand. I stand a queen. And it's like, what you had to go through over this raggedy white boy, like, girl. You see, the scams. After you had to go through all of that over him, girl, you should have called the cops. Bitch, you would have did the right thing. But no. Devin, ooh, Devin's a little whiny and a smidge like just really high strung maybe. He's whiny. Your boy's whiny. I'm just like, girl, stop being so sad. I get it. You're not like the most privileged at this school. You're a teenager. You want to fit in, but you still want to be able to like have access to the things that all these other kids are having. Just be able to like enjoy your experience in high school. But also like, girl, I'm getting a little bit of that Gossip Girl energy while reading it because Chiamaka's friends, they just kind of made me think of Katie Farkas and what's that other girl? I forgot what the other girl's name is, but it was Katie Farkas and that other girl that were like Blair's friends, and they would like gossip with her, but they would gossip behind her back. This is gonna start me back because I already said I wanted to reread the entire Gossip Girl series. I still have all of the books here. And then the little moment where they have like Ace that pops up on everybody's screen. It's giving very much Gossip Girl, but it's also giving that little text message that, well, it's giving A from Pretty Little Liars, but it's also giving that little, I don't even know what the name of the antagonist or whatever that is in Control Z. I did enjoy Pretty Little Liars. I mean, I still ain't finished it, but you know, I'm gonna finish the show someday. And also, I do feel like this and Control Z have a few plot points that kind of line up with each other. They had a school assembly in both of them, and then there was something that happened on the screen that they were watching at the assembly, and there was like a interruption. But I'm enjoying Control Z, so I'll definitely enjoy this, I believe. I'm believing that the rest of these pages, I'm gonna enjoy them so much. I am now 205 pages in. Like, let me tell you, so much is like being hit on in this story. I'm blown away. I'm just like, just inhaling this book. This is oxygen. It's such a good book. Breath of fresh air. I love it so much. It's giving me all of the Gossip Girl, private school, uniforms, especially with the secret little person that knows all their business and is like manipulating them and messing with them. Also, this black perspective intermingled in there. And then there's the element of being the only black people in a predominantly white space. And into showing two different kinds of black people experiencing this kind of situation, how they are navigating it as individuals, where it's like one is being ambitious, networking and communicating and manipulating, playing the game with all the white people, whereas the other black person is like, I'm just gonna stay invisible in this situation. I'm gonna work through the system in my little section and not be seen. You're getting to see those dynamics play out. You're also kind of seeing class dynamics play out as well. Like, one of the things that they were addressing is, at least on Devin's side of things, where it's this kind of antagonism that black people are having towards each other, especially for some black people aspiring to better, and then there are other people who aren't necessarily in that position to have that kind of access or that ability. And it made me think of this analogy, or like, I don't know, it's like they say it's like an experiment with monkeys, and they take the monkeys. I know it sounded real problematic with monkeys and black people, but that's, give me a minute. Basically, the experiment, I'm sure somebody like who's watching this probably knows the experiment, where it's just like they put like a group of monkeys into like a cage, I think, and then there's like a ladder and there's like a banana on the top of the ladder. The monkeys would climb to go get the banana, but when they try to climb for it, they get like sprayed with water to basically deter them from climbing the ladder and getting the banana. So they continue to do that until it's programmed into these monkeys' minds that that if I try to go get this banana, I'm gonna get assaulted, and the rest of the monkeys that are with me will experience the same thing, so let's not. So they'll like bring in a new monkey who hasn't had the experience. They will go climbing up, trying to get the banana, and all the other monkeys will knock them down and say like, no, you can't go get that. His story's personifying that analogy to me. I'm loving that kind of commentary. Bitch, let me tell you, I'm fucking loving. I'm loving. Bitch, I'm loving Devin's love interest. Like, Scotty, Scotty's kind of a dickhead, but at the same time, I mean, I get it. I mean, Dre's problematic, but it's still like, I mean, I get it. Cause he's, you know, he's a little bad boy with a heart of gold, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I like that. My good girly Devin, she's doing very good. She's doing very well for herself. In high school, she booked herself a nice rich white boy. She also booked herself a fucking like drug dealer. Dope dealer. Shout out to Swifty Santana. She booked herself a drug dealer. Now she's got herself a nerdy, quirky type, possible future politician, intellectual. I'm living for Devin. I'm proud. Proud Butch Queen representation. And the mystery's really eating it for me. I'm thinking it's the headmaster Ward, is it? I almost think that it's him. Then I'm like, why does he care though? And when does he have the time to be aces, to be like shuffling behind these kids and making their lives hell? But it could be that racist white supremacist boy. I think it's Jeremy or whatever. It might be him, but it might not be. It could be Jamie, but I also feel like, nah, Jamie ain't that smart. Like, he could be a liar, but I don't really think so. I kind of do feel like Crooked Nose in drama class, she might be, because she's an actress, she might be able to play a little something. But then again, it could also be Scotty, because Scotty, actor as well. Not a smart one, but I do think Crooked Nose in drama class, she's probably a smart girl. We just don't know enough about her to know how smart she is. What if some chapters later on I'm finding out like Miss Girl is really good with the computers? So she probably linked up with Scotty, and she probably has a crush because she was comforting Scotty, and I was like, I think she likes Scotty though. Scotty's probably bi. She's trying to like hit that. She wants Scotty to be her man. She wants to be Brad and Angelina. Says it might not work. But I'm like, why though? Why are you targeting these people? Because that was like Scotty's exes. What's wrong? You jealous of them though? But then again, she also targeted Jake. But maybe she knows Jake. Maybe Jake did something to her. I don't know. And it can't be Terrell. Or it could be because he's weird. That was just what Jake was saying. But what if Jake is it? But then Jake can't be. I don't know, girl. I'm just like, I can't tell who it is. And that's the thing too. So much other things happen. And let me tell you, I also think Chiamaka and Bella, bitch, they about to get together. Cause I'm seeing the signs, you know what I'm saying? It's looking real cute for them. And I'm like, I'm seeing this. I love how the romances are developing in this book. They aren't like ultra fast. Still like very high school. It'll get there pretty quickly. But at the same time, it's also still like a nice build up. You get the moments. I'm still invested in the mystery, but I'm also invested in their lives. And I don't find myself going like, oh my gosh, can we get past your personal life stuff? Can we get to the mystery? I care about both sides. I am 205 pages into this book, and I am a Faridah Abike Iyimide fan. Period. What else are you gonna write to this? We're gonna write a follow-up to this? I don't even know how it's gonna end, but I can see a story where we're like following Chiamaka and Devin becoming friends, because I could see them becoming friends because like the vibe, they're like linking up right now. And then Aces manages to come back in their lives, and now they're working together. Love this book so much. All right, I am 259 pages in. I just came off an episode. I just came off an episode. I just came off a chapter. Made me look at it funny style. I don't like the optics. I don't like what I'm looking at. It's looking real funny in the light. I don't like it. It's also valid, and it's valid to exist. There's the girl Belle. She's white, blonde, and I guess apparently she's petite. She's a small little petite girl. Chiamaka, a feminine girl. She's taller than Belle. And I was just kind of like, because for me it's giving in interracial queer romances, usually the black character is usually seen as the more masculine, and then like the white person they're in a relationship with are seen as more delicate, feminine. I had issues with that in Cricket Kingdom. I was just reading this, and I was just kind of looking at that like, girl, I understand, but also like, We could have switched the narrative. I feel like they could have just been two femme girls snogging with each other, but the thing that really, really set it off for me is that right before Belle and Chiamaka are like falling into bed, Chiamaka gets her hair braided by her mother. It's this sentimental, beautiful moment talking about like just the significance of black girls' hair and black girls getting their hair done in these hairstyles and her getting cornrows, just slick back, and then she's like falling into bed with Belle, who's got her long hair. And Chiamaka has the right to wear her hair in cornrows. It shouldn't matter. She's still feminine regardless. She's not seen as like to be stereotyped as masculine. But I don't know. I'm just like reading it and I'm just like the optics. I get it. People have the right and the range, but I'm also thinking about the optics. Maybe I'm just overthinking the whole thing. But squint my eyes at it like, girl, what? What are we talking about here? Why she gotta be the more masculine presenting? Even if it's a little touch of it, I'm still seeing that. What's up with that? Why Belle can't be a little masculine too? Why she can't wear some sweatpants around the hot, well, whatever, girl. Why she can't wear a sweatsuit and her hair back in a ponytail with some sneakers around the house? I don't know. Okay, it's getting problematic now. It's getting real problematic. But still, it's got me looking at it funny and I like what's up with that? Girl, the fuck? But I will say one other thing that really been crossing my mind as I read is that Chiamaka and Devon are the only black people in this school. And not just y'all the only two black kids in the school. I haven't heard it mentioned, oh, there were other black kids that went to the school. Or even black kids that were notable, other black kids prior to them. I get it that y'all are in this school to have like better opportunities because Navius, the Prissy White School, I get it that school, it gives them better opportunities to get into college, to better colleges, than if they went to like a regular public school, but still. That's real suspicious. A lot of this was, I don't know, ordained. I don't know. The school was trying to do, I guess, affirmative action, or they're like trying to have their like quota of like, we have black kids here, we have diversity here. And that's another thing I haven't heard about. Like, I haven't heard too much talk about like other ethnicities. For the most part, I've heard like most of the school is white. Granted, there are different kinds of white people. There are like really, really Caucasian white people, and there are like Latino white people and Asian people, but that are like fair skinned. But I haven't heard there are like Asian people that go to the school. I haven't heard there are like Hispanic people that go to school. It's like land of the white people, land of white supremacy. I feel like that plays into who Aces is and why this is all happening. I almost feel like the headmaster, Mr. Ward, he got something to do with it. I do feel like Jamie has something to do with it. I do think Crooked Nose from drama class, she has something to do with it. I almost feel like Scotty has something to do with it too. Belle has something to do with it. She's like a part of this whole thing. She's to rope Chiamaka in. But I also feel like Mr. Taylor might be into it. Like music teacher, although, oh, nice white guy, but he's probably like, I don't know. He might be in on it. All the white people got something to do with it. All of them. I almost feel like Terrell got something to do with it because he's, I don't know, he was brought up as being weird, but it's also like he doesn't go to school. I don't know. There's something about him that I'm just like, how does he fit into this? I feel like he might fit into this. Somehow the white people at that school, they managed to rope him in. I just want to know how. It's about to be Sunday in this book, and they're about to stake out and figure out who's behind Ace's. Girl, how is this gonna play out? I can't even guess who it is because there's so much, but I also feel like it's a network of like multiple people that are behind Aces, and it's not just like one or two people, it's like a bunch of them. Okay, so I am 325 pages in, and a lot's been going on, child. Funny thing, I just was like asking, wouldn't there be any other kids that are black? They would know like if there was other black kids that went to the school before. Y'all the only two black kids ever? So then if they're like the first black kids to go to that school, then I feel like that would have been mentioned that they were like the first two black kids, and it would be such a big deal and it would be talked about, and they would almost kind of have ended up being friends because they're the first two black kids. Now I understand why. Ugh. The only thing I'm just not seeing is there aren't any other ethnicities really. The closest to like non-American white people that there are is a white girl from Britain. they're just like the only black kids. And it's just like, that's tell you how crazy and sick and weird racism is. And not even just racism, but like racism and classism tied together. It's just it's very much like you will do things like these to destroy other people's lives. And I'm just like, it's a dub. And I feel like it's more of an analogy of what racism is like, just this institutional racism. But I do think it also kind of really focuses on the fact that if you go to a predominantly white space, there's just like a kind of danger and a harm in being there because you're not really sure who to trust. You're not sure if anybody's really got your back. Because even like Mr. Taylor, I said it, oh, he's a nice guy, but it's like, he might be in on it too. We don't know. My suspicious mind was right. He was in on it too, and I'm now kind of getting the Get Out vibes of this story. Untrustworthy white people luring you in some crazy racist trap to destroy your life as a black person. Oh, gosh. Although it's just Chiamaka and Devin, they might be able to impact this school, this system, dismantle it, break it down, destroy it. That's the thing. It's like you either destroy the system, or if you're waiting for the oppressors to dismantle it, you're going to have to make the oppressors uncomfortable and not just guilting them into wanting to dismantle it. Find active ways to make them feel like, oh my gosh, we got to dismantle this shit because it's just not working out. And one of the craziest things that I just read is that Chiamaka couldn't even tell her father about it because, from my understanding, Chiamaka is biracial, but I'm guessing from the photo on the cover, she presents more phenotypically black, but her dad is white, which is like, it's so interesting. I feel like I didn't get a lot of descriptions of him. It doesn't have to be a lot, but enough to kind of just like confirm for me that he is a white man. But just her saying that like, oh, he didn't defend her and her mother from his family. And this almost got me wondering, like, is her father in on it too? Because her father's usually not in the house, and she comes home and he's in the house just as things are like falling apart with the Aces. Although there's this hierarchy, classist system of Chiamaka and the white girls that she was hanging out with, they're like feared and revered because of like their status at the school and the power that they kind of hold. Devin is like, bitch, I don't see that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Fuck all y'all in this bullshit. I loved it so much more when he was throwing that, bitch, I don't give a fuck about y'all. When he walked up to Chiamaka and the three white girls at the locker, and they were all like, who the fuck do you think you are, trying to act like you don't see that we are to be revered? I appreciated Devin for just being like, whatever. Anyway, Chiamaka, let's go, girl. Oof. Belle ain't shit. Fuck that bitch. Because that was another thing that I also looked at too with Belle and Chiamaka in my issues with the optics of Chiamaka being taller, having the cornrows, and then you have short, petite, white girl, blonde, Belle, and her name is Belle, like Beauty and the Beast, Belle. I don't like that. I don't like the optics. I don't like the whole the illusions and the connections that you can make with Belle and Chiamaka. Like, it's just not, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it real bad. That's some bullshit. I feel like there would be like a sequel to this book with Aces following them to college, because I feel like they're gonna get away. They're gonna disrupt this Nevaeh's life, and Nevaeh is gonna be like, bitch, we're gonna destroy y'all, and we want revenge. And they will follow them to college where they're like friends. We're gonna get more of them hanging out. Aces and Nevaeh is gonna be coming back trying to destroy their lives. I'm here for it. And I know Aces is definitely going to be back because they are aspiring to go to predominantly white institutions. They're not going to HBCUs. Now, that'd be an interesting story if, like, the second book is like, oh, fuck white institutions. We're not going back. We're not doing white institutions no more. And they do not bother to go to Yale. They do not bother to go to UCLA. They go to Spelman and Morehouse. Although Morehouse, from what I've heard, she's got her issues when it comes to queer people. And Spelman too, apparently. I don't know, girl. I don't know. I heard there are some issues when it comes to LGBTQ people. It would be so interesting if they go to Morehouse and Spelman. Aces decides to follow them there, and they were like, bitch, we went to a black school. What the fuck is this white bitch Aces doing here? And then, you know, you get the black people, you get the ancestors on your side, you get black people, all the black people from the school on your side, and y'all saying like, fuck Aces, we about to fuck her shit up, bitch. What's up? You know what I'm saying? deadass, I really do feel like there's gonna be a sequel. There's gonna be a sequel. There's gotta be a sequel. I feel like there's gonna be a sequel because I kind of want more of that Chiamaka and Devin friendship. It's kind of like fun seeing them kind of build that up. I am just a few more pages from the end. I just want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Let's see how it ends. I just completed Ace of Spades by Faridah Abike Iyimide. I enjoyed this so much. It was a great ending, just like I expected. I thought we were gonna be left off with a cliffhanger of, oh bitch, Ace is still around. It was just like a nice little time skip. And I love the conclusion. It was such a nice conclusion. Because girl, it's giving secret society, like underground secret service tech kind of thing. They like have high tech shit, like very super secret agent spy stuff. I can see it being a follow-up book because they brought up like another character that kind of it could go through the same thing that they went through. I'm kind of curious to see a follow-up, just kind of seeing the Chiamaka and Devin friendship, and it's great to see that they're like still friends years later. And then look at Devin and Terrell still together. Terrell and his full beard, like, it's cute. I could see this being adapted. I don't know if it would be a series, like a limited series, or just be a movie. And the person I can see in this role for Chiamaka is the girl from like the 3rd season of 13 Reasons Why. The black girl who became like Hannah Baker part 2, but like, I'm a black girl. I'm from Britain. I'm actually British. And I'm actually still alive. That girl. If they like cast her, she would be, I feel like she'd be the perfect Chiamaka. She just feels like the perfect person to cast for that role. Devin, I feel like Ashton Saunders would have been a good decision to cast as his character. Because I don't know, Devin Sanders, well, partly because he's already done Moonlight, but also because that's just kind of what I feel like Devin Sanders like kind of would look like. I was even thinking they could cast Caleb McLaughlin. But I do feel like Ashton Saunders he'll be a little too old for the role. He might be young enough to pull it off, or Caleb McLaughlin, but you know, or maybe they'll find somebody new and young to play the role. It was such a good book. I definitely want to reread it again and tab it a bit more. I think I'm a Faridah Abike Iyimide fan. And just off of this book, like period, she got me with the writing, she got me with the storytelling, she got me with her creativity. I love it and I appreciate her for it. Thank you for spending your time with me, and I am out this bitch like Fleek. Shout out to Peaches. A shout out to Faridah Abike Iyimide. I love you, girl.